UFC 189, a history event in the world of mixed martial arts. UFC 189, held on July 11, 2050, is one of the most memorable events in the history of mixed martial arts. This event, which took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, was significant not only for the fights that took place, but also for the drama and emotion that surrounded it, both inside outside the octagon. Context and background. Initially, the main event was scheduled to be featherweight title fight between champions Jose Aldo and challenger Conor McGregor. However, Aldo was forced to withdraw due to a rib injury, leading the organization to replace him with Chad Mendes. Mendes, who had previously fought for the title, will face McGregor for the interim featherweight title. This last-minute change added an extra layer of injury and anticipation to the event. The main fight, McGregor versus Mendes. Conor McGregor, known for his charisma and trash-talking skills, had been on an impressive streak, knocking out his opponent with his powerful striking and precision. Chad Mendes, on the other hand, was a world-class wrestling with a solid wrestling game and a proven ability to compete with the best. The fight began with Mendes trying to improvise his wrestling, taking McGregor to the ground several times. Despite this, McGregor remained calm and showed decent ground defense. However, it was in the third round where McGregor displayed his true powers. He managed to get back to his feet and began landing a series of expressive strikes on Mendes. Finally, a left-hand punch from McGregor dropped Mendes, leading the referee to stop the fight, declaring McGregor the winner by technical knockout. This victory not only secured McGregor the interim title, but also solidified his status as one of the biggest stars in the UFC. His ability to back up his trash talk with a spectacular performance inside the octagon made him a favorite and a force to be reckoned with in the featherweight division. The co-main event, Lawler versus McDonald. The co-main event of UFC 189 was a welterweight title fight between champions Robbie Lawler and challenger Roy McDonald. This fight is widely considered one of the greatest in UFC history due to its intensity and bravery shown by both fighters. Lawler and McDonald had previously fought at UFC 167, where Lawler won with a split decision. This rematch promised to be a war, and it certainly delivered from the first round. Both fighters exchanging brutal strikes. McDonald's managed to hurt Lawler with a high kick in the second round, and he cemented on the verge of victory. However, Lawler showed incredible resilience and kept pressing forward. The final round was decided. The speed began visibly hard. Lawler landed a devastating punch that broke McDonald's nose, leading the referee to stop the fight. The image of both fighters, bloated and exhausted, straining at each other at the end of the fourth round, has become one of the most iconic in MMA history. Other notable fights. In addition to the two main fights, UFC 189 featured several exciting bouts. Thomas Almeida defended Brad Pickett by knockout in the second round. In the thrilling fight, Gunnar Nelson, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert, showcased his skills by summoning Brandon Touch in the first round. There was also a standout performance by Jeremy Stephens, who knocked out Dennis Bermudez with a spectacular flying knee. Production and presentation. UFC 189 is also remembered for its production and presentation. The organization introduced a new standard in how events were present, with the inclusion of live music and trance. Irish band Sinead O'Connor performance The Foggy View for Conor McGregor's entrance, while Aaron Lewis sang Country Boy for Chad Mendes' entrance. This innovation added a level of spectacle not previously seen in the UFC. Impact and legacy. The impact of UFC 189 on the world of MMA was significant. It not only solidified Conor McGregor as a global superstar, but also raised the bar for what was expected in terms of production and spectacle at UFC events. The fight themselves become benchmark for future bouts, especially the war between Lawler and McDonald, which continue to be discussed and admired by fans and fighters alike. Question and answer. What was the impact of Conor McGregor's victory on his career and the featherweight division? Conor McGregor's victory at UFC 189 had a monumental impact on his career and the featherweight division by defending Chad Mendes by technical knockout. McGregor secured the interim featherweight title and solidified his status as one of the sport's biggest stars. His ability to back up his provocative talk with impressive performance inside the octagon captured the attention of fans and media worldwide. This victory also set the stage for his eventual showdown with Jose Aldo, the reigning champions, in one of the most anticipated fights in UFC history. In terms of the division, McGregor brought an unprecedented level of interest and attention, elevating the profile of the featherweight category and attracting a new audience to the sport. What made the fight between Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald at UFC 189 so memorable? The fight between Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald at UFC 189 is considered one of the greats in MMA history due to its intensity, toughness, and the bravery shown by both fighters. From the first rounds, both exchanging brutal strikes, with McDonald's nearly knocking out Lawler with a high kick in the second round. The fight was a true war of attrition, and both fighters kept pressing forward despite significant injuries. The climax came in the fifth round when Lawler, despite being visibly hurt, landed a punch that broke McDonald's nose, leading the referee to stop the fight. The image of both fighters staring each other down at the end of the fourth round, bloated and exhausted, has become one of the most iconic in MMA history. This fight showcased not only the technical skills of both fighters but also their incredible heart and determination. 3. How did the production and presentation of UFC 189 affect future UFC events? UFC 189 set a new standard in UFC event production and presentation. The inclusion of live music and trends with Sinead O'Connor and Aaron Lewis performing for Conor McGregor and Chad Mendes respectively added a level of spectacular and excitement not previously seen in the UFC. This innovation was well received by fans and added an extra dimension to the live event experience. The improved in production with high quality graphics and polished presentation also elevate the perception of the event as a top-tier entertainment spectacle. This focus on production and presentation has continued in subsequent events, with UFC investing in extending the visual and auditory experience for spectators, both live and at home. What challenge did Chad Mendes face by accepting the fight against Conor McGregor on short notice? Chad Mendes faced several significant challenges by accepting the fight against Conor McGregor on short notice. First, he had time to specially prepare for McGregor, a fighter known for his unique striking style and ability to keep the fight standing. Mendes, being the wrestler, had to quickly adapt high strategy and physical condition to face such a formidable opponent in a limited time. Additionally, Mendes was not in the full training camp when offered the fight, meaning that had to accelerate his physical and technical preparation in very short period. Despite this challenge, Mendes put on a valiant and competitive performance, taking McGregor down several times before being ultimately knocked out in the third round. His willingness to accept the fight under difficult circumstances demonstrated his competitive spirit and dedication to sport. What did Conor McGregor's victory mean for the UFC in terms of marketing and global growth? Conor McGregor's victory at the UFC 189 was a significant turning point for the UFC in terms of marketing and global growth. McGregor, with his natural charisma, trash-talking skills, and impressive performance inside the octagon, became a central figure in attracting a new audience to the sport. His victory over Chad Mendes and the manner in which he did with a dramatic technical knockout captured the imagination of fans worldwide. McGregor became a UFC ambassador, helping to increase the popularity of MMA in international markets, particularly in Europe and Latin America. His unique style and ability to promote his fight brought an unprecedented level of media and commercial attention to the UFC. This not only benefit McGregor in terms of sponsorship continues and visibly, but also helped UFC establish itself a premier combat sport organization globally.